Photography is full of opinions, some helpful, some, well, let's just say people say things with a lot of confidence and absolutely no evidence. So today we're talking about the worst photography advice that photographers keep hearing. And before we begin, this list is not ranked in any way. Number 1 is now worse than number 10. They are all just equally awful in their own special way. Now also, I do want to put a little caveat in here as well. Beginners especially. You need to learn the rules of photography before you can break them. Because just because you can break one of these rules doesn't always mean you should. So just make sure before you go and try to, say, well, I'm not going to use the rule of thirds here because I just feel it's going to be better this way, blah, blah, blah. Make sure you understand the rule of thirds first and how it works before you go and try to do something completely different. Again, everything is subjective, but understanding the rules allows you to break them in a way that won't ruin your shot. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, worst advice number 1. You need expensive gear to take better photos. Ah, yes, the classic. The sacred cow of bad photography advice. Apparently, your creativity is directly linked to your credit card limit. Because obviously, the moment you buy that $2,500 lens, your composition will magically improve. You'll understand light perfectly, and your thumb will stop sneaking into the frame. The truth, gear doesn't make you any better a photographer. You make you a better photographer by practice. I've shot Fuji, Canon, Nikon, Sony. It doesn't matter. The photos still look like my work because I'm the one pressing the button. If you want to improve, take more photos. Set up more photo shoots. That is the real secret. Bad advice number 2. Post-processing is cheating. Nothing boils my blood like this one. Photographers have always edited. Darkroom work was literally editing by hand, dodging, burning, masking, waving cardboard around like sorcerers. And now we have Lightroom and Photoshop, and suddenly it's cheating? Sure, okay? And cooking food instead of eating raw potatoes is cheating too. I get my images to about 90-95% in camera. And then I finish the polish in post. That's not cheating. That's called being a photographer. The people shouting cheating are usually the ones whose unedited photos could benefit from a little enhancement. Bad advice number 3. You don't need to learn manual mode. Technically, you can go through life never learning manual mode. You can also go through life never learning how to boil water. But should you? Obviously not. Manual mode isn't some elitist badge. It's control. The exposure triangle is 3 things. 3: shutter, aperture, and ISO. If you can remember your email password, you can learn manual. Once it clicks, it unlocks everything. You control motion, you control your depth of field, you control your exposure. You stop guessing and start creating. Learn manual mode. It's not rocket science, it is photography. Bad advice number 4. Do not shoot portraits wide open. This advice is usually delivered by someone whose idea of a good time is zooming to 400% to check corner sharpness. I'm telling you right now, shooting wide open is absolutely gorgeous. Right now I shoot at 2.8, which is the fastest my lenses go. I'll do it all day long. I love the look, the one eyelash in focus, dreamy, buttery vibe. It's a style, a mood, and it works. Sure, older lenses weren't always sharp wide open, but modern lenses, even third-party lenses, they're fantastic. If your shots are soft, that's not an aperture problem. That's a practice more problem. Ignore the photography police. They've been patrolling f-stops since the Stone Age. Play around with different apertures. See what works best for you. Bad advice number 5. Copying kills creativity. This is the worst advice masquerading as wisdom. Before photography, I studied guitar. And, you know, when you play guitar, you copy your heroes, your guitar heroes. Note for note, tone for tone, attack, phrasing, everything. That's how I learned. When I got in photography, I did the same thing. I found photographers that I admired, and I copied them mercilessly. Here's the truth. Copying doesn't kill creativity. Stopping at copying kills creativity. Copy deeply, copy intentionally, absorb the influences from everywhere, and when all those influences mix, your creativity emerges. Copying is the beginning, not the end. Bad advice number 6. Always stick to the rule of thirds. The rule of thirds is a solid training tool, but if you treat it like a law, your photos will look like everyone else's safe, predictable, grid-based masterpieces. Center your object, fill the frame, break symmetry, create tension. Do what the photo needs, not what a diagram from 1986 tells you to do. The rule of thirds is great, just don't let it run your life. Bad advice number 7. Never crop your photos. Yes, we'd all love to get everything perfect in camera, but life is chaotic. People move, you move. A random stranger wanders into the frame at exactly the wrong moment. Cropping is not a crime, it's a tool. It lets you tighten composition, remove distractions, and strengthen the story. If someone tells you cropping is lazy, they've clearly never tried photographing children, pets, wildlife, anything that moves faster than a houseplant. Bad advice number 8. You must always shoot in natural light. Natural light is beautiful. I love natural light. Golden hour is amazing looking. But depending on the sun for every portrait is like depending on that one friend who always stays 45 minutes late. Or who always is 5 minutes late, I should say. Learning artificial light gives you control, direction, quality, intensity, mood. Speed lights, strobes, softboxes. They're not cheating. They're freedom. If you want to level up your photography, learn to light. It's one of the biggest turning points in photographers' growth. Light is photography. Bad advice number 9. Only shoot during golden hour. Like I said just before, golden hour is amazing. But some photographers act like the rest of the day is illegal to shoot in. Midday light, too harsh. High sun, unusable. Shadows, scary. Meanwhile, you're missing out on dramatic contrast, graphic shadows, strong black and white scenes, and a whole world of creative possibilities. It's also the best time to do infrared photography. The sun doesn't stop being interesting after sunrise and sunset. If you can master harsh light, you can shoot anytime, anywhere. Bad advice number 10. Every photo must be perfectly sharp. Pixel Peepers, look away. And I have a whole video about you right up here that I'll post in the description. Not every photo needs to be clinically sharp. Some of the most iconic images in history are soft, blurry, gritty, or imperfect. They might have noise in them too. And that's why they work. Motion blur adds energy. Lens flare adds atmosphere. Soft focus adds emotion. Perfect sharpness doesn't equal a perfect image. Sometimes soul beats science. And guess what? They make mist filters just for doing that. Photography is full of myths, rules, and loud opinions that can box you in if you let them. Learn the fundamentals, experiment boldly, ignore the creativity police, and trust your eye more than anyone else's advice, especially the bad advice. Photography is subjective. What you think is good or bad, someone else is going to think the opposite. So just do what you feel is right. Now, listen, if you're working for a client and they say they want this, 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 and this, they're paying you, yes, you need to give them what they want. It may be against what you do creatively, but hopefully they did their research when they hired you. And one of the reasons they hired you is for your creativity. If you got anything out of my video, please click the like button and hit subscribe. It really does help my channel. And listen, have a blessed day. You don't know what's going to happen. Enjoy it. Take care, everyone.